All right, let's look at the Republican pettiness, resentment, and reactions to different situations. We had Donald Trump along the way of his campaign, going after an FBI agent that took part in one of the investigations that was retiring, in a couple of weeks, and waited till the very last day after 26, 27 years, something like that, of his dedication to being a civil servant. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle it's on, that was just what he did. And then fired him the day before he was supposed to collect his lifetime pension and everything, and, very well-earned benefits for a job well done for decades and decades in civil service. And he had to sue to get his benefits back. We have this current situation where, the hurricanes down in, the Helene just hit, tons of damage, billions of dollars in damage. We have an automatic response where President Biden actually declared it a state of emergency before it even hit the ground, before it even came ashore, and $1 billion went right to Florida before it even hit. There's another hurricane coming that's supposed to hit in 2 days on Wednesday. It's Monday right now. And Republicans start talking about how, Biden hasn't done anything. Biden didn't, isn't sending any aid, is blocking people from helping, and all this other bullshit. Donald Trump gets up in front of a business, builds a brick wall out of the rubble, blocks off the only two streets that emergency workers and aid workers are actually using to get to the people who are in life or death situations, so he could do this PR stunt. In this PR stunt, he's talking about a GoFundMe that raised over $10 million, that 90% of it actually went to the Trump legal funds and the Trump campaign, or Donald Trump himself, set up by Meredith O'Rourke, who set up the victims of Butler, PR stunt, and raised $12 million, and 90% of that, too, also went to Donald Trump. We know that because Corey's daughter had to put up her own fundraiser to pay for the funeral. And he's talking about how he has truckloads and truckloads of aid on its way down, and he specified these trucks that actually were a nonprofit called Samaritan's Purse, which, after he was called out on not donating money from his, fake GoFundMes, they actually put a little blurb in there that Samaritan's Purse was one of the 4 or 5 they named. But they didn't say how much. They said they were picked to receive. In that GoFundMe, there's this big list of the donors, and Trump didn't donate anything, just so you know. We've got Ted Cruz taking off in Texas. If we think back, Ted Cruz took off in Texas during a massive freeze to go to Cancun. He did that twice. This is the Republican representative of that group. We've got Matt Gaetz attacking Joe Biden. 179 Republicans voted against giving FEMA more money because 2 years ago, the Biden administration said, hey, the storms are getting worse. FEMA needs more money. There's more demand. It has to happen. And the Republicans voted it down. So they didn't give them extra money. This time around, after Helene, they asked for more money. The Republicans said no and voted it down. Now the Republicans are on TV everywhere saying how FEMA doesn't have any money and Joe Biden's not doing his job. Oh, they took money and gave it to the immigrants, which is actually what Donald Trump did when he was in office. So you have all these little elements of bullshit coming out of the right side, and yet there's another hurricane on its way, as I said in the beginning. And what does Mike Johnson, the Republicans, do? They took a break. They are refusing to allocate more money to FEMA that is already not able to make it all the way through the damage in Helene because it was just too catastrophic, because they shot down more funding 2 years ago. And now they're saying they're not going to look at adding more money to FEMA at all until after the election because it takes time to tabulate the damage. These are the Republicans doing all of this. And those are facts, 100% facts. And somehow MAGA and the Republicans on the ground in this tragedy that are struggling believe that Joe Biden only gave him $750 because that's all he felt like giving him. Kind of like Maui, only gave him this bare minimum without recognizing the Constitution dictates anything more than that emergency minimum has to go through Congress. Who's in charge of Congress? Who's in charge of them getting more money? The Republicans. They're saying no. They said no to Maui. They're saying no to FEMA. They're saying no to Hurricane Helene victims. And I'm sure there's going to be a hell of a lot of victims of Hurricane Milton, who in 12 hours went from a Category 1 to a Category 5. That's unheard of. But hey, climate change isn't real. That hot water that's making it amp itself up. Think about this. That hot water makes hurricanes stronger. The longer the storm is over the water, the stronger they get. It's a Category 5 now. It's not going to hit ground. The eye isn't going to hit ground for another 2 days, which means it's still over the hot water. Who knows what it's going to be when it hits ground? 200 miles an hour? And the Republicans are on vacation, refusing to come back early until after the election. And you people who are in these states are primarily red states. These are your people doing this. Wake the up. These are your people that you put in office saying no to you. And then going out and bad-mouthing the people who are actually helping you. Is that really a smart thing to do? Are they really representing your best interests? It's election time. Whether you're a lifelong Republican or not, remember this, because these are facts. Look it up. They're saying no to you. We've got these petty, childish pricks like Gates and Cruz, and more than anything, Cheeto von Schitzenpants himself. The most petty schoolyard brat that ever had power anywhere. Well, forget about California being all burnt up or wildfires. They didn't vote for us anyway. Take away their funding. Remember that? Yeah, he did that. Standing over the ashes of, 1,000 people in that town? Pleasure. Paradise, sir. Pleasure. It's paradise, sir. And you're getting angry at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris when your Republicans are actually doing this. They voted no. They said no to extra aid for you. They said no to any money for Hurricane Milton that's stronger than Hurricane Helene and is going to hit harder and do probably more damage. They said no over and over and over again. Get it through your freaking head. Though I'm sending thoughts and prayers, and I'm praying for those who actually see the light and actually recognize this is a Republican issue. I'm praying for them wholeheartedly. But those who don't see it and are angry at the only people who are actually trying to help you, the Democrats, you get my thoughts and prayers. Like the innocent children, so you could defend your AR-15s. Stay safe, because Democrats want you to be okay, whether we agree with you or not. We want you and your children to be safe in schools. We want you not to have some petty freaking politician wreck your life because you voted in a different way. Democrats actually care about both sides of the aisle. I don't know how much evidence you need, but it's all out there if you open your eyes and look at it. So stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind, because we are in this together and we are all Americans, every different shade of us.